Good afternoon. Welcome back to Balance Wellness and Fitness Center. I'm Leslie and we are here in the cat cave. And what I have here today is just a very soothing slow flow. Full body, it's going to work and open everything. Shoulders, hips, legs, everything should feel good by the time we're done with this. Other than your mat, we will spend some time in some positions because we're going to start out in child's pose. So if you need more things to make you comfortable, particularly being on hands and knees, have those handy. You might need your blocks. There's one spot that we're going to hold our yogi squat that I don't want you to focus on ankle stability, but have something to place underneath your hips so you can find that traction. There'll be an alternative for that as well. And at the end, we'll need a strap or a belt, something that is not stretchy to give you support with one of the last postures that we will do. If you're ready to begin, let's find our way on into your child's pose. Whether the knees are wide, knees are close together, arms are in front, arms are behind you, arms are grabbing your feet. Just find your way down and find some comfort here. If you need a blanket or a block underneath your hips to bring the ground to you, do that. Or if you need one to have underneath your head, you can also make little fists with your forehead, your hands, to do that as well. Find that spot, and once you find that comfortable place, just gently start to breathe. Just easy breaths in, easy breaths out. Filling the lungs with air, and then slowly letting it go. In through the nose, and start out by going out through the mouth. Just find ease in this position. And then we'll slowly switch on over to our Drishti breathing. In through the nose, back out through the nose. Making each breath a little longer and a little deeper. Feel your shoulder blades go wide with those inhales. Feel the ribs close and the belly tighten with those exhales. Start to fill all the way down to the pelvic floor. And as you exhale out, gently rain that out from the bottom up. Give yourself 2 more long breaths in, the longest ones you've done, and following that with the longest exhale, slowly letting it go. And then we'll start to slowly return back to a normal paced breath, but take your time, just ease back. Find that place of comfort with that breath. You want to start to warm the back of your throat all the way down to the lungs. Find a normal breath in here and a normal breath out. And we'll start to slide our hands underneath our shoulders, move any props, and make our way on up to a table. Spreading the fingers wide like starfish, hands right underneath the armpits or shoulders, and take a peek at where your feet are at, making sure the middle toe is in line with your heel and the back of your knee. Pick up your shoulder blades and slide them down your back, making the neck nice and long. Let's draw the abs in and up and engage your pelvic floor. Just feeling the strength in your body in this position. Check out where your biceps are at, rotating them accordingly. And let's start, just press the ground away lightly, pushing through the hands, all parts of the fingers and the mounds of the flesh of the hands, as well as through the shins and the tops of your feet. And release for a moment. And stay strong, but soften just that little bit. Now let's start to press away again. Feel the strength in your back. Keep those abdominals engaged. And release. And one more time. Start to press. Feel the heat build in your body. Press to the point that you feel you could almost hover your knees. Pressing to the tops of the feet, sending those toes back. Nice long neck. Full ab engagement. And let it go. Give yourself 2 cat-cows here. Inhaling in your cat. Exhaling in your cow. Leading with your pelvis. Now let's find that strong table again. Draw the abs in and up, pelvic floor engaged. Now let's extend that right arm long in front of us, keeping the shoulder blades plugged in. Full breaths here. Give yourself another moment, and then tuck your right toes. Send that leg back. Just stretch the fascia of the feet into your Achilles and soleus, and now check the levelness of both your hip girdle and shoulder girdle. Peek through, check what the feet are doing, the heel is looking straight up, and then use your glute to help float that leg up. Nice strong breaths here. Let's start to press the ground away with our limbs again. Press through that left hand, press through that right shin, and soften into it for a moment. Let's take those limbs to the corner of our mat. Give yourself another breath here, and let's press away again. Press into that, and soften. Keep that ab engagement, and light that left foot down, and anchor it down. Push through the heel. I want to start a series of thread the needles, but that last one will stay in place. Big inhale, and just rotate up, pulling that right shoulder blade down. Follow your hand with your gaze. Keep the fingers spread. Just pausing here for a moment to open on up. Let that breath go. And now with this big inhale, rotate a little further. Exhale, thread through that left side. Inhale, float up. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, float up. Exhale, thread through. Inhale up. Exhale through. This next one, we're going to stay down as we thread through. Draw that left knee in. Take that right arm and send it on over. Once you find that place, take that left arm long. If you need to roll up your mat, if you need to quickly grab a block or towel, grab them. Or if you need something that's on the backs of your shins to kind of bring the ground to you for comfort for your hips. Keep that right hip pushing over to the right, and keep those right toes on the ground so they don't start inching their way to the left. Give yourself 3 more breaths here. Full breath in, full breath out. Keep walking those left fingers forward if they'll go. With your next inhale, start to just use your fingers to walk that left arm back. And when it meets that right arm, spread the fingers, use your glutes and your abdominals. Press away to gently come up and find your table. Find that length again. Give yourself 3 cat-cows. Thinking at the feet as you're going into your cat, leading with your pelvis. Inhaling into that cow and exhaling into that cat. After that third one, do a little recheck of everything as we prepare to go to the other side. Fingers are spread wide, shoulder blades are down. Feet are nice and even and toes are aiming straight back. Let's take that left arm and extend it forward. Just finding the strength there. Nice and strong in that through-limb table. Pressing the ground away, both shins, that other hand. Shoulder blades plugged in. Now let's tuck those right toes. And we'll send that leg back. Just pausing there for that moment so we can stretch through the Achilles, As your soleus and your gastroc. And just start to find the strength as we shift to a two-limb table. We'll squeeze that glute to lift that leg up. Check out the girdles. Lift up that right, drop the left if need be. Making sure they're nice and even, your two-limb table. And now let's start to press the ground away here. Find that strength from earlier. Pressing into that right hand, pressing into that left shin. Give yourself another breath with that. And then soften the two. We'll take our limbs to the corner. Right arm to the right, left arm to the left corner. Right leg to the right. And press the ground away again. Find that heat and just gently press away. Stay nice and strong. Give yourself a breath. Gently release. Just float those toes down, keeping them tucked. And then prepare for a thread the needles this side. We'll inhale that left arm up and open, fingers spread. We're going to pause here for a couple breaths. Opening up to the pecs, preparing those obliques. Another full breath in, full breath out. Here we go. Big breath in. Exhale, thread that left arm through. Inhale, flow down. Exhale, hollow out the belly as you float through. All the way from the pelvic floor. Float through for 3. Inhale up. Exhale through for 4. Inhale up. And as you start to come through, draw that right knee back in. Send that left arm on, over, and through. Use what you need for that left shoulder as you bring it down. And start to walk that right arm forward towards the top of your mat. Again, use whatever props you need for comfort. If you need something underneath your hips, you need something underneath your head and shoulders. You can roll up your mat, block, towel, pillow. Just find that comfort. As you're settling in, check and see what your hips are doing. Don't let your left hip start to come to the right. Encourage the pelvis to stay over there, along with that left foot, as it may want to start to slide to meet the right foot. Press the top of the toenails right into the ground. 2 more breaths here. Full breath in and a full breath out. Give yourself another breath in. And as you slowly let it go, mentally prepare yourself. Start to walk those right fingers back. And when your hand finds that left arm, spread the fingers, press away to come up and find your table. Let's give ourselves 3 cat-cows here. Check out those feet. Bring out the abs all the way from the pelvic floor up. Leading with your pelvis. Just nice, slow, purposeful, thoughtful movements. Finish your series here, and then find your strong table again. Let's find that strength one more time. Really, really pushing the ground away. Don't try to grip, try to extend the fingers long. Each section is touching versus trying to grip a softball. Start to press through those shins. Draw the abs in and up, pressing to the tops of the feet. Maybe you feel those knees come up and you can move them up. Maybe not. Maybe everything just feels a little lighter, a little stronger. Give yourself another breath here. Slowly release and find that halfway point. Now let's extend our right arm forward. And we're going to shift our weight a little bit. I'm going to change my position. You stay where you're at. And straighten that right leg. Tuck the toes behind you. Shift a little bit of weight onto that left side. And we're going to slowly start to roll up. Lifting up that right armpit. Reaching overhead. Give yourself a breath here. Now let's kickstand that left leg. Perpendicular to your spine. That right foot sole can be down. Arch can be down. If your flexibility isn't really high in that ankle, you may turn the toes away in the opposite way. Find your space here. Make sure that left hand is directly underneath the shoulder and the armpit and the fingers are spread. If you're really tight, you may feel this going all the way down to your shin or your ankle. Keep the energy going through these right fingers and keep pressing the ground away over the two limbs that are firmly on the earth. Just let this right foot float in place and think of yourself in a plane of glass. There's something underneath that right armpit that just keeps gently pulling those ribs up and opening, opening, opening. Your gaze can stay forward, just don't let your head hang. Keep your head working, or it can come up to look at that bicep. One more full breath here, and as you let it go, mentally prepare yourself to use your core. Let's inhale our way up to gate. Use those core muscles. Find yourself here, plant your foot, lengthen through that tailbone. Find your space. Spread your fingers as they look forward. Let's inhale and lift up through those ribs. Exhale, pull back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull. Inhale, lift, and stay here. Start to squeeze the shoulder blades together as you drop them down your back to open right on up and to also support your neck. 2 more breaths here before we make our next move. Full breath in, full breath out. Another breath in. As you let it go, let's inhale our hands up, palms look at each other. Start to fold through that right knee, and if you need to drop your hands and use them, go ahead. Bring it forward as we make our way into low crescent lunge. Let's do a little body scan before we go forward. Check out what that back foot is doing. Has it wiggled or wobbled on you? Make sure those middle toes are in line with your heel. And lengthen through that tailbone. And check out where that front foot, your right foot is. The knees over top the ankle. Keep scooping underneath those hips as that right hip keeps opening. Because you can keep walking it forward, but you don't want to flare your tailbone out. You want it scooped. So you're walking this forward. Pretend you've got that ski lift just waiting. It's going to come underneath you and grab you. Keep it at top. Keep lifting out of those ribs. Keep those abs engaged. 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to float our hands down to our first lizard. We're going to work on opening up our glutes first. Big breath. Exhale the arms on down. Bringing them right inside. Find their space. And once you're there, find your neutral spine. If you need your blocks, get your blocks. Make sure you're not tilting and cupcaking to find that neutral spine. We're going to start to walk that foot out away from you, heel toeing it. And when you find a nice stretch in your glutes, your glute maximus, the bigger muscle of your hip, pause there, pick up your toes, spin that knee out, and we're going to let it fall open, and then let it close, and let it fall open, and let it close, and let's let it fall open and stay here. I'm going to be here for a few breaths, so if you need something for comfort, if you need those blocks to keep you neutral, find it. If you're feeling really gumpy and you can drop down and keep it neutral, go ahead and drop down to your elbows. So breathe into that hip. Nice big breaths as it opens up through the joint space. Shoulder blades are down. Neck is nice and long. 2 more breaths here. I'm going to bring your leg in and find a simple twist. With your next inhale, pick up those toes and start to walk that leg in until your right leg is snug right up against that right arm. Check out where your left hand is. Make sure it's right underneath your shoulder and armpit. Hold through the elbow. Rotate through the ribs as we find a simple twist here. If the arm is uncomfortable in the air, you can always take a bind. Gaze can follow or stay forward. Just don't let your head hang. And those hips looking down. 1 more breath here. With your next inhale, fold through the elbow. Gently bring the hand down. Help your leg if it needs it. And we will find our cat-cow. Give yourself 3. After that third one, let's bring our knees together and sit into child's pose for 3 breaths. Keeping active arms. Walking those arms forward towards the corners of the mat. Giving our back a nice stretch here as things get warmer. Full breath. Hopefully it feels better than it did when we began, even though we're still early in the practice. Another big breath in. A big breath out. And with this next breath, prepare yourself. Draw the arms towards the shoulders. Press yourself up. Find that table. Give yourself a big cat-cow here just to move. And then spread the fingers, extend the toes behind you. Let's prepare for our other side. We're going to shift our weight on our right side ever so lightly as we extend that left arm out and then take that left leg back. Just gently start to rotate on that. Have that string underneath your armpit. When you find that comfortable place, at least 3/4 of the way, go ahead and kickstand that right knee. Check out where the right hand is. Make sure it's underneath your shoulder or your armpit, and fingers are spread. This foot may be different in flexibility than in the right, so accommodate its needs. Maybe you can point and extend through it. Maybe it feels better just to have a slight flex in the arch down. Find the right place. Find that plane of glass for your torso that you reach on up and over nice and long. Continually rotating up through those ribs with the breath. Getting long through the tailbone of the neck. And your head's engaged so it's not hanging down to the ground whether it looks up or it looks forward. Just find the right spot for it. You stay here for 2 more breaths before we make our way up into gate pose. Make sure that back foot is firm on the ground. Another breath in. Let it go. 1 more breath. And let's let it go as well. With your next inhale, use that core and spiral your way up. Find a place for that foot. Make sure that back top of the foot is down. And with an inhale, let's lift our chest up to the sky. Exhale, close to the abdominals. Inhale up. Exhale, close. Lengthen that tailbone. Inhale up. And we will stay here. Start to draw your shoulder blades together and drop them down your spine. Gaze can be forward or just off in the horizon. Fingers are spread wide. I'm going to hold this for 2 more breaths here. Nice, slow inhalation. Continue to lift through the chest and lengthen that tailbone. Keep those shoulder blades squeezed together to protect the neck. With your next inhale, float the arms on up, preparing for a little crescent lunge on this side. Fingers are still spread wide. Tailbone is long, chest is lifted. Heel toe that left foot forward, and if you need to break your position and help it with your hands, by all means do. Once you have it in alignment with your hips, give yourself that peek. What's that back foot doing? The toes still down and in line with the heel and the edge of your knee. And let's figure out where our left foot is going. Make sure that knee is over top of that ankle. And pretend you've got that ski lift waiting for you so again you're not flaring off the hips. Nice full breaths here. Chest is still lifted. Tailbone is still long. Just letting that hip open up. As it does, just let it go forward a little bit more. Recheck the alignment. We always do as we grow and soften and strengthen. We recheck, resettle, refine. 1 more breath, and then we will find our lizard. Let that breath go, and as you inhale, float the arms down. Let's bring them on down inside. Maybe your back is looser than it was a few minutes ago. Maybe you still need your blocks or pillow. Find what you need and then start to adjust. You're going to walk that left foot out, finding that stretch in the outer glute. Pick up those toes, spin through. Let that knee fall out. Draw it back in. Let it fall out. And bring it in. Let it fall out one more time, and it's going to stay there now for a little bit to breathe into it. Check out what that back foot is doing. Make sure it's pressed into the ground, and you have a nice neutral spine here. Just finding some comfort in this position as we breathe through it. And as things open, perhaps you can drop down to your elbows, or if you're using your blocks, you can turn it the long side up. Just drop an inch. Nothing wrong with experimenting and see, am I there yet? And if you're not, don't worry about it. You're still getting what you need out of it, and that's the most important part. One more breath here. And as you let it go, mentally prepare yourself for this inhale. Pick up your toes, bend the knee in, start to walk that leg in until that left leg is snug up against the arm. Check out the position of your right arm. Make sure that hand is right underneath the shoulders, fingers spread, hips are looking down, engage your pelvic floor. Fold through that elbow for a simple twist to the opposite side. If it doesn't feel good to have the arm up, go for your body. Nice big breaths here. Shoulder blades stay down for that nice long neck. Again, not letting the neck hang. One more breath here. As you let it go, find that preparation. Let's inhale that left arm down. Bring it all the way to the ground. Help the foot if it needs to find your table again. Let's get 3 cat-cow center, 3 to the right, and then 3 to the left. Just really wringing out the abdominals as you go into your cat, all the way from the pelvic floor. And inhaling fully, drawing the shoulder blades down into your calf. Using all those abdominal and back muscles. But feeling the difference, adding that little emphasis. And as you walk your hands to the right, make sure to keep the hands spread and underneath the shoulders. Encourage the hips to stay over to that left side to help open up the side body versus coming with you, as well as that shin. And you make your way to that left side, same thing, keeping the fingers spread wide like starfish and underneath your shoulders or armpits. Encourage that right hip to stay over to that right side. Still with those nice full breaths, and you're wringing it out on your exhales into your cat. Inhaling fully here into your cow. Just ring, ring, ring. When you get that third one, find your table to walk your way back. And I encourage you, we're going to go into that yogi squat after we take a rest. So have what you need nearby for your hips. Or if you plan on rolling up your mat, you've got that plan in your head. But let's go for a wide-kneed child's pose now. So we did the other earlier. Taking the toes together, and this one we're going to go for rest versus an active position. You hold here for 4 breaths, whether you make a little fist under your head or you need one of those blocks or pillows right underneath right now. And find it, settle into it, and let your body rest. Full breath. Maybe you're starting to get warm. Hopefully you're starting to feel a little looser. Just feel the ribcage wide, big breath in. Feel it grow smaller, the working of your muscles as you release that air. Give yourself one more full breath here. And gently let it go. We'll draw our hands near our knees, press ourselves up, and let's tuck our toes, keeping everything wide, finding our way to that yogi squat. Let's not worry about whether the heels go down or not. So if you need your blocks, one or two, to put underneath your hips, do so. If you might use a pillow, I want you to find some comfort so you can actually stay here and find the traction in your back versus wiggling and wobbling, doing this for ankle stability. We're looking for that decompression of the spine. And if you're not finding it, or you know this is a day it won't happen, gently roll on your back. Find your neutral spine. Go to a modified happy baby to keep that neutral spine, pressing the heels just up at a slight angle. And don't take the legs as wide as you normally would for your happy baby, or try to grab for your feet. Press your hands into the backs of your thighs, and your thighs into the palms of your hands, pressing one into each other, trying to get away with that neutral spine. Will give you another opportunity to find that decompression of your spine. If it doesn't work here in the yogi squat, then find that spot, find that place. Hopefully you're here now. And we're going to hold this for 5 more breaths. I want you to find it, be able to settle into it, and have it feel good versus work. We still have a little work to go to keep us warm as we go through this just slow, relaxing, nourishing flow today. Dropping your shoulder blades, whether you're lying on your back or you're here on your block or pillow. Draw the abs in and up and engage your pelvic floor. That's going to help release a little bit more mobility, a little bit more stretch. Full breath. Gaze is off in the horizon, whether you're on your back or in the yogi squat. One more breath here. And let it go. If you're on your back, I'm going to have you hug your knees into your chest, ground for a moment, and then join us here in this position. If you are in your yogi squat, now go ahead and start to release the knees. Bring yourself a little forward to grab whatever prop you have. And we'll all meet with wide feet as we're going to go up into a wide leg forward fold. Press the hands where you need, tighten the glutes. Press the hips on up and back, and adjust your feet accordingly. You can take them all the way to the outside of the mat if you like. We're going wide. Once you're there, check out where your kneecaps are at with your middle toes. They should still be in alignment. Draw the abs in and up and engage your pelvic floor. And I'd like you to go ahead and take your hands and place right underneath your feet. If this is something that your arms are too short, or things are really stiff, grab your blocks or pillows and take them as wide as your legs. So you have an alternate. We're going to start to rock back and forth. Keep those abs in and up, pelvic floor engaged. Knees as soft as you need. And if you're using your blocks, you're just walking still, rocking back and forth. Fingers are wide. Give yourself one more rock. And now let's pedal through the legs. Bring the hands around blocks or hands are underneath. Keep that pelvic floor engaged and keep stacking your spine over top of your head. Give yourself 2 more full pedals. And then once you're even, just rock the hips side to side for a moment. Same thing if your hands are on the blocks. Give yourself one more rock. If you are using blocks, let's slide them out the way. And we're going to draw our hands from underneath the feet if that was comfortable for you. And let's find a wide-legged half lift. Send those toes forward. Send your heart forward, hips back, belly button in. Big breath here. And exhale back to your fold. Let's inhale our way all the way up. Float the arms on up. Keep those wide legs and bring the hands down to your heart center. And float them up again. And let them connect. Gently draw them down. Let's find our mountain pose here. Float the hands on down. Start to press the feet into the ground. Feel the instant difference. It's a huge difference as you try to rotate those fingers outward, pressing in, lengthening through your tailbone. Lift the shoulders up and slide them down the ribs to start to open your collarbones. Use your thumbs as the guide to open up your palms. Just feel what a different sensation it is to have wide legs and go up the mountain. Gaze can be down or off in the horizon. Give yourself another breath here. Let's float those arms back up, let them connect. Bring them down to your heart center. And stay here. We're going to find our wide chair. Take a breath. Exhale. Sit back and find your wide chair. Lengthen through your tailbone. Press those feet to the ground. And now think about your inner thighs engaging. You don't want them to collapse in. They're going to want to. Keep those kneecaps in line with your middle toe. Squeeze your shoulder blades together ever so lightly. And go ahead and start to tip down a little bit as we're going to find our prayer twist here. With an inhale, drop that right elbow in the center of nowhere. It's not going to touch anything, and that's not the goal. Keep rotating through your ribs, and now take note of what that right hip is doing. Is that knee wanting to collapse in? You may have to encourage it to fire up a little bit more to keep that knee in place. Check out, make sure both knees are nice and even to the right. Hip can start to pop forward, press it back as well. Keep rotating on through. One more breath here. Let it go. Give yourself an inhale. Exhale back to that wide forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale back to fold. Inhale your way all the way back up tall. Let the hands connect, grind them down through heart center. Lengthen through the tailbone, and let's sit back into that chair again. Slightly familiar wide chair. Check out your kneecaps. Feel what your inner thighs are doing again. Nice breaths here. Shoulder blades are down. Let's prepare ourselves. Take that left elbow and gently twist into that never, never land that's not there, but it is familiar from that other side. Now look and see what that left knee is doing. Is it collapsing in on you? Squeeze that glute. Encourage to go back out. Is that left hip coming forward? If it is, encourage it to go back. You have to bring hands and take the thumb into the hip crease. Take your thumb and press into that hip crease. With each inhale, try to rotate the ribs a little bit more. And exhale, just soften into it. But keeping that beautiful alignment. One more full breath in. And a full breath out. With your next inhale, prepare yourself. Exhale to forward fold. Hands as soft as your knee. Paddle through the legs for a moment. Give yourself a ragdoll here too. Even that out. Let's find our shins. Find that wide half lift here. Belly button in. Heart and head forward. Hips back. Exhale into your fold. Inhale your way all the way up tall. Let the hands connect. Exhale them down. Float them up again. And let's swan dive down. And we're going to walk our hands out into a plank. It's going to be a working plank. We're going to find our chaturanga, and we're going to hold that. So if you know you want to drop to a half plank, go ahead and lower those knees on down now. You want that half plank. And find where you'd like to be as you're in and up. And let's fold those elbows in towards each other and lower yourself halfway down and hold here. Pull the shoulder blades long, and again, you can be here at half plank. Make sure the toes are down and shins are down. That is fine. Feel the work of the triceps and your upper body. One more breath here. And then slowly lower yourself down with that exhale. Send your toes back behind you for baby cobra. Send them way back. Nail beds are connected. Hips are soft. Abs are in and up. Fingers are spread right underneath your shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades down as you gently lift up. They're squeezed together for support. Your gaze is towards the top edge of your mat. Nice big breaths here. Again, making sure not to press the pelvis hard into your mat, causing a hyperextension. Your upper back and abs should be doing all the work. You should be able to lift these hands up. You shouldn't feel like you're pressing yourself up through your hips. With your next inhale, leading with your chin, turn to look over to that right shoulder and drop it down a little bit. If you're going to brush your armpit with the bottom of your chin. Nice breath in, and let that breath go. Inhale your way back center, exhale over to the left. Pause for a moment, and then tip it towards that left armpit. Keep that squeeze on your shoulder blades. Keep pulling them down towards the hips as well. So into the spine, down to the hips. Abs are in and up. Inhale your way back center. Gently tuck your toes. Rest yourself up to your table, and let's prepare for downward facing dog. Give yourself a cat-cow here. Then walk one hand forward. Find the spread of your fingers, index finger line through spine. Turn those biceps forward. Take your toes a little wide just to start. And then press those hips up and back. Find your comfort here. And then go ahead and paddle through your legs. It can be a little shift side to side if they're still feeling really tight. You may just be straight up and down. Pretend someone still has those hip pockets and pulling them away as those biceps are forward. Knees are as soft as you need. Big breath in, big breath out. Even that out, and then inhale your way up on the balls of the feet. Spread your toes forward, and exhale. Let the heels drop where they will. They don't have to be on the ground. Give yourself another big breath in, and let it go. Then take your gaze between your thumbs, lift up on the balls of your feet, and walk yourself up to your hands. Find your normal forward fold. Whether the heels are apart a couple inches and the big toe ball bones kiss, but there's a little bit of space there. Find your normal fold. Inhale into half lift, belly button in, shoulder blades down. Exhale back to fold. Inhale your way on up, nice and slow. Float those arms up, let them touch. Come down to your heart center and pause. Inhale them up again, and let's find our normal mountain pose. Floating those arms on down, starting with the feet, pressing into the ground, lifting up those kneecaps. Feel those inner thighs start to connect as the femurs rotate out. Lengthen through your tailbone. Knit those abdominals. Lift up your shoulders. Slide the blades down your back. Let the collarbones open. Use those thumbs to help open up and spin the palms forward. Gaze can go off into the horizon or directly forward. Find the comfort in that very familiar mountain pose. How different your body feels from having the legs wide. Pause here for 2 more breaths before we find our very comfortable chair. Big breath in, big breath out. Another breath in, and let it go. Let's inhale our hands on up, bring them down to your heart center. Drop your shoulder blades, and sit back into that very comfortable chair, the one that you're extremely familiar with. Lengthen through your tailbone, knit the ribs, knit the abdomen. With the shoulder blades just ever so slightly squeezed together. Now find those inner thighs again. Again, you don't want to squeeze the knees into each other. Those middle toes and kneecaps should be in alignment. Just find the engagement. Hold for another breath and let it go. And then let's inhale that right arm down. Maybe it goes right directly between. Maybe it goes on the other side. Maybe it just touches both thighs. But find that spot and then check out your hips. Make sure the right hip hasn't popped forward, left hip back. Make sure those toes are still in alignment. And with each inhale, try to rotate a little bit more. And with each exhale, gently soften. With your next inhale, let's take that left arm and reach for the sky. Fingers are spread. You can take that right arm on the outside of that left leg. Check the hips again to make sure they have a start to splay. Giving yourself that little bit of leverage here. One more breath. Slowly let it go. With your next inhale, let the hands find each other again in prayer twist. Exhale back to your fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to your fold. And walk out to your plank. We will do that holding chaturanga again. So find the position that you need to be in for comfort. Fingers are spread. Shoulder blades are down. Abs are in and up. Turn those biceps forward and lower yourself down. Nice full breaths here. Keep your neck nice and long. Keep the abs in and up. One more breath. And slowly lower yourself all the way down to the earth. Let's extend the toes out. Take the feet just a little wide through the legs. Take the knees up just a hair, and then turn the toes in towards each other. They can almost touch if it's comfortable. From here, take the elbows and send them right alongside the ribs. Fingers spread wide right underneath your shoulders, up and right in, till we make our way to an easy sphinx pose. Use your abdomen and your breath to start to pull yourself up. Slide the hands forward towards the front edge of your mat. Right to the right, left to the left. Shoulder blades are squeezed together. Keep those toes looking at each other. You should feel a very lovely stretch on your lower back. You may need to take your legs wider if you're not feeling the stretch or discomfort, or lower down on the chest. Make sure the shoulder blades are together enough towards your spine, doing their work to help protect your neck. 2 more breaths here. Breath in, and your breath out. 1 more breath in. Slowly let it go. With your next inhale, you lower yourself down. Tuck your toes, slide your hands back to the bottoms of your legs. Press yourself up to find your table. Give yourself a cat-cow here and tuck your toes. We're going to use yogi squat to bring ourselves back up, but we're not going to fold it. With your next inhale, tuck your toes, walk your hands back. Just find the balance for a moment, then press them down. Exhale your way into your forward fold. Find those familiar feet. We have 1 more side to go. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's inhale our way into half lift. Heart forward, belly button in. Nice long spine. Exhale back to your fold. Give yourself a ragdoll here, or 2. And find those knees together. Use your breath to bring you all the way up. Lengthen through that tailbone. Activate those legs. Bring the hands to your heart center. And let's float the arms on up again. Bringing them down through. Lengthen your tailbone. Knit those ribs. Press the ground away. And sit into your chair. An ever so comfortable chair. Kneecaps forward. Shoulder blades are squeezed together to protect that spine. Tailbone is lengthened. Abs in and out. Pelvic floor if you need it. With your next inhale, Let's take that left elbow, find its new place. Maybe it goes in the center, maybe it just touches the left leg, maybe it goes all the way over to the right to start. Give yourself that little form check through the hips. Make sure that left hip hasn't popped forward and the right back. With each inhale, try to give yourself a little bit more twist. As you exhale, just soften into it. Try not to grip the mat with your toes. Keep them firm but light. Check your shoulder blades. After an inhale, that right arm up. Pull that shoulder blade down. And then we'll take that left arm on the outside of the right leg. Continuing with that inhale, rotating a little bit more if your body allows. Exhale, just soften into it. If you hit that point, just keep softening. Just keep the form good and keep softening. If you haven't hit it, keep moving forward. Keep rotating. Give yourself another breath. And then we'll fold that right hand to meet the left. Take the breath. Exhale your way into that fold. Inhale to half lift. And exhale to fold. We're going to walk down. We're going to find our plank, but we're not going to stay. We're not going to be chaturanga. Don't worry. Just walk forward and find your high plank. Hands right underneath the shoulders. Press those toes back. Lift those abs up. One more breath here. Then we're going to lower that left leg down, shin down, toes down. Slide the right leg forward. We're going to go into the other lizard. There's more than one form of lizard in yoga. We're going to go now for the hip flexor since we got the glutes. Took care of that already. So bring this forward as if you're going to go into low lunge. Being mindful of what that back leg is doing. And once you have it up underneath your armpit, let's rise up for just a moment through the torso and do a little check here. I'm just going to wiggle around for the camera. As again, with regular lizard that you're going for your glutes, regular lizard, you don't want to start pushing your hips out away, flaring them out. You want that tailbone down. We want the same thing here. So as you walk this forward, even though you're going more into splits, you still don't want to just flare the hips back. Find that spot if you can feel a definite separation and stretch, and then let's bring the hands back down. If you need your blocks, make sure, come back up, grab your blocks. Just start to let that open up. Engage your pelvic floor. Then we're going to take that right hand, just snake it around to help keep that leg in so that knee doesn't start falling out to the side. If you're feeling uber flexible and you want to drop down, make sure you're all the way down on the pinky or the palm as you open up. You also don't want to rest your torso on your leg doing this either, curling into it. It's still a very active stretching pose as we walk the hips away from each other, keeping that knee ankle alignment. Big breath in and a big breath out. Keeping those left toes down, we're going to add one more thing to this. Give yourself 2 more full breaths here. Keep that left knee, right kneecap looking up at the sky, holding into your pose. If you're down on that left hand, gently come up, bringing that hand underneath the armpit. We're going to unwind that right arm, rise up a little by pulling the shoulder blades down. Take the weight of that right arm and just let it lay on the knee. Start to draw that shoulder blade back and let your gaze go with that, going over your shoulder and down the side of your hip. Let the sole of the foot open up. Just let the weight carry it versus trying to push it. And you can add a little bit more of a turn as allowed through your oblique on that left side and torso with comfort. Give yourself one more breath here. Let it go. And with your next inhale, float that right hand up. Bring the sole of the foot down to the ground. And let's start to walk over to our left side. As if you're going to walk all the way back to that left leg. When you get in the middle, spread your fingers, just push the ground away, pull your shoulder blades down, pick up those right toes. Use your breath to inhale your way up, float your arms up. Little balance work here before we go into our pyramid. Pull those toes towards you, and if you need blocks, have your blocks. Lift up out of your ribs, work that core, turn gently toward it. We're just going to take a little twist here, kind of like with our wide leg prayer twist and seat earlier, and take your hands, put them on either side of that leg. Find your comfort. Pull your toes towards you. Make sure your hands are down, so if you need to break any of your blocks or roll up your mat, do that. Big breath in and a big breath out. Give yourself another breath here. And then we're going to press those toes down. Walk the hands on either side. And inside. Swing that leg back, up and around. Take your child's pose. Full breath in. Full breath out. Give yourself 2 more. Let the heart rate come down. When you hit that 3rd one, mentally prepare yourself. And walk the hands back. Tuck the toes. Find your yogi squat. Press yourself all the way back up. Find your forward fold. Full breath here. Send your spine over top your head. Inhale the half lift. Exhale the fold. Inhale your way all the way up. Bring the hands together through heart center. Swan dive on down. Walk onto your plank. Find that nice high plank. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Pull those shoulder blades down. Press the ground away. Abs are in and out. Now let's fold through that right shin. Bringing those toes down and untuck. Bring that left leg on, up and through as we find lizard on the other side. And take a peek back at those back legs, making sure they're doing their job as you walk the left foot forward, keeping the knee and ankle alignment good. Making sure not to lay on the leg. Use your core, draw yourself up. A little bit of balance work there. But check those hips so you're not flaring them out back, but we've got them scooped underneath and actively working. See, that might change where that leg is at to start with. You'll probably be able to get it back out there. Now take another breath, and then gently find your way, keep that hip engagement. And when you've got that spot, let's take our arm, weave around, so thread it through, grasping onto the ankle of the arch to keep this knee up versus falling out. And then again, if you're having that Gumby moment, you want to drop to your elbow, go all the way down on the elbow and forearm, pinkies down with palm. If not, stay right on up and breathe into it. Pelvic floor is engaged. Keep that glute activation. Nice big breath in. And a big breath out. Another full breath in. And we'll let it go. If you're down on that right elbow, gently come up now. Place that hand underneath your shoulder. We're going to get ready to open up that flexor a little bit more. Then inhale, let's unthread that left leg and arm. Take that forward and just let it rest right on the inside, below the kneecaps. You're not on the lateral portion. You're just using the weight of that arm versus pressing. And as the sole of the foot comes up, keep drawing that shoulder blade down. Keep letting your gaze just follow, going right off that left shoulder, opening up. That back foot is nice and stable. The elbows are pressed down, the top of the foot is pressed down as you gently open up. And walk on off to that left corner. One more full breath in. And a full breath out. Your next inhale, start to shift the weight, bringing the weight off of that left leg, bringing that hand down the sole of the foot back. If you need to, use your hand to help. Use your hand. Find your table. Give yourself a couple of cat-cows here just to move through the spine. Big, full breath. Big inhale on your cow. Big exhale, ring it out on your cat. I'm going to sit on our heels if that's comfortable. Lift up the hands, circle through those wrists for a moment. They have worked hard for us today. And then go the opposite way. Take the hands, spread the fingers wide, close them in tight. Spread them wide, close them tight. Spread them wide and keep them there. Circle through your thumbs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Opposite way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to make our way down for our last two positions on our mat. Let's look and see where I'd left things at so I wouldn't lay on them. Have your strap, rope, whatever you're using handy. Again, nothing stretchy. And whether it's more comfortable for you to cross your legs to roll back to your seat or sweep your feet, do so. Grab your rope and just use your abdominals, and I know you've already used them quite a bit during this practice, and just lower yourself. We're going to lower all the way down. We're not going to do your tricky boat things. Just take yourself all the way down and find a comfortable place with the knees bent. Hug them into your chest for just a moment. Find the neutral spine. Circle through your ankles now. And go the opposite way. Take your legs a little wider, spread your toes. Keep it neutral and circle. And the opposite way. Keep that neutral and grab your strap and gently place on the feet, right at the balls of the feet, one at a time. And take them on up. Find you're lying on your back, neutral, mountain pose. And we're going to turn those big toes in towards each other, even if you tend to go the opposite way to a fifth position. We're going to go with the big toe almost looking towards each other, big toes almost touching, the heels just slightly wide. Now find those nice flat feet. Keep the arms nice and soft, shoulders down. Let the legs go a little bit forward so you can really feel that you're on your pelvis versus rounding on your back. Out your in and out from pelvic floors engaged. Take the feet a little wider so they're almost armpit distance apart. And check out the feet to make sure you're not rolling up on the outside or collapsing on the arches. Now take your feet shoulder width apart. Keeping the shoulders down as you're adjusting with your strap or belt. Keep pressing up through the heels and stay on your pelvis. Take them about 2 inches wider than your shoulders now. Toes are still turned in. Take them even wider. Check out the feet. Check out the pelvis and check out your shoulder blades. Toes are still turned in. Take them as wide as you comfortably can now. Toes are still turned in. The wide-legged standing forward fold. Flat footed on your ceiling. One more breath here. Let it go. With your inhale, rotate the heels in, toes out. Maybe you go a little bit further now with that shift. Opening up a different area of the hips. Maybe not. But check your feet. Make sure you still have flat feet on the ceiling, as if you're going to go into a really wide goddess pose. And slide them in about 3 inches, still wider than your shoulders. Recheck to make sure you're still on your pelvis. Those hamstrings are getting some beautiful elongation. Bring them in just a little bit wider the shoulder apart. Make those accommodations for your elbows and shoulders as you can drop them back down to the earth. Bring them right over top your shoulders. Hands are still looking at each other now, toes look away. And then somewhere between shoulder width and armpit distance apart. Tightening up on your strap. Changing in the feet and the ankles. Bring them a little bit less than shoulder width apart. A little bit less than arm width apart. Armpit distance apart, actually. And then bring them on into fifth position. Maybe the heels touch, maybe your knees touch. Just depends on your anatomy. Make sure you're still on your pelvis and your spine is still neutral. Try to soften your grip. And then bring the feet on in towards each other. Bring the soles of the feet together. Pull them towards you. And finish in round angle. Once they've hit the earth, and you felt them where it's a nice, comfortable spot, pretend that somebody is underneath, pulling those knees down versus somebody standing on top. We'll take our palms right at our sides, looking up towards the sky. If you like a little bit of extra stretch from the mid-breast area, lift up through the ribs, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the neck nice and long, lifting the chest up to the sky. Hold here for 5 more breaths. And at any point that you want to pull the heels closer to the sacrum because the hips have opened up and the inner thighs, go right ahead. Those slow breaths that we began with. Feeling the lungs, feeling the shoulder blades go wide, slide under the armpits, ribs get bigger. Exhaling all the way out from the pelvic floor. Big full breaths. As you hit the last one of the round, if your shoulder blades are squeezed together, lift one up at a time. Gently lowering the scapulars back down to the ground of the ribs. And then fold one knee in at a time, bringing them back to the sky. Be conscious of your belt or strap, that you don't get caught in it. Then hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side to balance that stretch out. And then when you're ready, roll to your better side and press yourself up. I hope you found that's very beneficial for your body as well as your mind. Have an absolutely wonderful afternoon.